Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another King of Tokyo unboxing. So this is for the Power Up expansion. So if you follow my other videos for the King of Tokyo, the King of New York is kind of like a sister game, like a side game. The core concept of the gameplay is the same, with rolling the dice and trying to get victory points or defeat all your other players, either monsters. And then we also had the Power Up expansion, that with Panda Kai. This is the Power Up expansion for Tokyo, or for New York. So that way you can, because normally when you play, all your monsters are the exact same. They just have a board with either victory points and health. This adds specific cards for each character, so that actually makes them unique. So we'll go ahead and jump into this. So here's the rule book. One thing this does, which is actually kind of cool, is it actually adds cards for both King of Tokyo and King of New York. So now you can take all the characters from the King of New York set, this guy and all the stuff from the base game, take them to King of Tokyo, and you can play with them using all the evolution cards. Unfortunately, there's still, as of right now, they have not made King of New York cards for all the characters from King of Tokyo, so you can't bring them the other direction. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. So, just as a reminder, in case you didn't watch the other videos, so the evolution cards are going to be little square cards that look like this. They're going to have the name of the monster, the species type, mutant, invader, or robot, and there are other ones, like the Halloween expansion added a different one. And what type of evolution, if it's temporary or permanent. So what you do is each monster has 8 of these, and it doesn't matter if you're using the Tokyo or the New York versions. There's 8 of each. So you shuffle them out, and each player gets or monster starts with 1 card. So you draw 2, you get to choose which evolution path you want to go on. And then it stays in your hand until you play it. If it's a temporary, it's a one-time use. Play it, it goes away. If it's a permanent, then you play it, it stays in play, unless something would remove it for some reason. And then whenever you roll 3 hearts, you get to draw 2 more evolution cards, keep 1, discard the other. It's not a cost, so you still get to use all your hearts, which is really nice. Just an extra little bonus. Deck is empty, just reshuffle it, and you play them whenever you want. You can even play them during your opponent's turn, so you can have something that gives you extra 2 health. You could play it during your opponent's turn before you take damage to quickly gain some extra health. And that's about as simple as it is. So glossary, they just mentioned the word wound. So it says, a monster wounds another monster when he makes him lose 1 or more health with hits during his resolve step. And then the variant they have is the mutant evolution. You can shuffle the evolution of monster in play, deal 8 evolutions to each player, therefore they can be from any monster. Players simultaneously choose an evolution, place it face down in front of them, and then pass them all. So it's like a draft, essentially like a drafting style. Everyone looks at the 7 cards, takes one, and you pass 6. Everyone takes them, you pass 5, until eventually everyone has 8 cards face down, and nobody has any left in their hand, and then you play that way. And the neat idea of that is supposed to be is then that way, you can use all the different monsters instead of only using 2, or it gets you different bonuses, just different, makes the game a little bit different. So if you've played it several times without ever using evolutions, throw them in there, but you're like, okay, I'm getting tired of using the same evolutions all the time, or this gives you options. And the reason why you would do the draft style is so that you really have, I'd say seriously, you don't have anyone to blame but yourself if you draw bad. Or if you get bad cards, like, oh, I only have stuff that discards, or I only have stuff that heals, I didn't get anything that got damage. Then that's on you. Versus if you just randomly play them and then you get messed up cards. But it's either way. I mean, I would probably just shuffle all my monsters together, and then just draw them out that way. So yeah, here we have Mega Sharks. We got a new monster. Just kind of cool. We haven't had a shark yet. Oh, and we dropped him. You're of course gonna get your base. And then we're going to get 2 decks. We're going to get King of New York. Sorry, that's King of Tokyo. Help if I learn how to read. And King of New York. I don't know why the King of New York ones say power up on the back, but the King of Tokyo ones didn't. I get why these don't, because the older ones didn't, and they didn't want to change the backs of them. But I don't know why they didn't do that in the first place. Or why they then added it to this one. So not really sure what they did there. So we're going to go through these, and this again, it's going to have characters from, it's going to include this guy, but it's going to have characters through the base set as well. Oh, and I assumed that they were all the same in order, and they're not. Alright, 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. I was just trying to make sure put all the cards in the same order. So, on the left side here, the white border, that's going to be the cards for King of Tokyo. And the black side are King of New York. And they'll have their different backs on there. That's just a quick way to tell them apart, so if like you're playing them. So, what they did is each one has the same name, same symbols, stuff like that. They tried to keep them as close as they could via what the games are. And that's just why I'm going to show them both off at the same time. Although there's going to be little discrepancies because New York has the different boroughs, of New York. Plus it has units and some other different stuff. So here we have Elbow Rockets. It says monsters who don't yield Tokyo after you wound them lose 2 extra health. That's the same for each one. Draconis gets a keep these both away. New theme song. So it says, play before resolving your dice. You can take back all your dice and roll 3 more times. So it's kind of neat. Get a full turn reroll. Gotta catch them all. So the Tokyo ones, now this one's actually kind of different because one's permanent, one's temporary. So the Tokyo one, you get gotta catch them all. If you roll 1, 1, 2, 2, and 3, 3, you gain 5 victory points. Where Draconis is, I wonder if that was supposed to be permanent. Maybe not. Because here's why. Because this one says catch them all. Place a unit you destroyed in front of yourself. Discard this card if you destroyed an infantry, tank, or plane to gain 5 VP. So both of them are giving you 5 VP. It's just one gets you for destroying stuff, one gets you for having points. Attack on Broadway. If you are playing in Tokyo, gain VP for each health you roll during this turn. And Attack on Broadway is instead add 1 victory point die you roll for each health you roll. So essentially they're the same thing, just worded a little differently. Tornado Wing. When you roll at least 3 health, all other monsters lose 1. And then the Tornado Wing for New York is when you roll at least 2 building damage, you may move a unit in your borough to a different borough. So that's a completely different card. Which some of them are going to be. They're just going to have to be. Jing 1 Vibrato. Once per turn, you can change one of your attacks to a 1 or 2. Or you can change one of your attacks to the building damage. He has Misojin Gun. If you roll at least 3 attack, roll a die and apply the following effect. So we have draw a power card, gain a BP, lose a health, add attack to your roll, draw an evolution card, or gain 2 energy. And then so then the New York one is destroy a building in your borough, add 1 attack, gain 2 energy, take back Superstar, lose 1 health, or draw an evolution card. So the ones that are the same are attacking still gives you an attack roll, energy still gives you energy, and heart still gives you an evolution. It's just the numbers give you different stuff versus the other ones. Tezuka Bazooka. If you roll 4 dice at the same face, you add 2 attack to your roll. Alright, so there's Draconis. Alright, let's jump into Mega Shark, the new character. We have Danola Trident. Once per turn, you can change one of your 1s to an attack. In the New York one, lets you change one of your building destructions to an attack. Card Shark. During your buy power cards phase, you can pay 2 to reveal 3 extra power cards. Discard the extra cards at the end of your turn. Same for both of them. White Death. Play with 1 extra die. You cannot win with your VP. So that's kind of neat. So that's kind of cool because you get the extra die. But you have to, as soon as you get that, you know exactly what you have to be doing. Then you just stop focusing on VP anymore. Lone Shark. At the beginning of your turn, you may give Lone Shark and 3 VP or 3 energy to a monster in Tokyo, or on this one it's Manhattan. At the beginning of each turn, they lose 1 heart unless they pay you 6. If they pay, take back Lone Shark. So this says permanent evolution. I wish it would have been gift evolution. Sort of with the Halloween set. I just wonder if they just abandoned that term because they only used it for the 1 set. Temporary evolution, Left Shark. Gain 1 VP for each 1 you roll, or 1 for each unit damage you roll. Don Megalo. When you wound a monster in Tokyo or Manhattan, you may name a price in energy. If the monster pays you this price, they don't lose energy but must yield Tokyo. Interesting. So basically, if you absolutely want it, you can name something really high that they can't afford. Alright, then we're going to get Surprise Attack, and he actually has 2 of them. This is the only character I've seen that has double cards. Everyone else usually has all separate. So it says, when you are wounded, you may discard Surprise Attack to draw an evolution card. If it's another Surprise Attack, reveal it. The monster who wounded you loses 3 health. Either way, shuffle your discard into your evolution deck. You can't play more than 1 surprise each turn. So you have a chance of 1 of 7 to draw the other one if you haven't already played it. But then you put them all back into your deck and you might get them again. It's kind of interesting. So now we have Sheriff the Dinosaur, short arm of the law. So the one says you also wound your neighbors for New York, or for Tokyo, sorry. Which would be anyone either outside New York or outside Tokyo, or anyone inside Tokyo if you're playing a 5-6 player game. And then the New York one just says you also wound a monster in your burrow. Dead or alive. Give dead or alive to a monster who wounds you. The next time this monster is wounded, the monster who wounded them takes 1 energy from the bank for each heart they lost. Then gain 1 energy and take back dead or alive. Yeah, so they could have kept the gift evolution. It's the second card that's done that. This town ain't big enough. At the beginning of your turn, other monsters you control in Tokyo lose 1 health. The New York version just changes it. It says, a monster in your burrow loses 2 health, then they may choose to move to a burrow of your you may move them to a burrow of your choice. This is kind of interesting. They take 2 damage, but they need to move them. A little bit more powerful. Fastest in the West. When you must be wounded, roll 6 dice. If you roll at least 1 attack, you don't lose health, and that monster loses health for each damage you rolled. Nice. Deputy Sheriff. For the Tokyo, when you play, you must be wounded. Gain 1 victory point instead of losing health. And then New York's a little bit different. It says you must be wounded, and there are units in your burrow. Choose one of those units to suffer an attack in your place as if they were building damage. Gain the reward if it's destroyed. So that's kind of interesting because either one is gain. Listen, you're always gonna gain 1 VP instead of taking damage, no matter what. This one, destroying that unit could definitely get you more than 1 VP, or it could get you energy or health or something even better, but it only works if there's a unit. If there's not a unit in your area, then it kind of got wasted. Jurassic Roar, you wound all other monsters. And this one says, play before reviewing unit damage. You can move a unit to your burrow to a different unit. So it kind of scares them away, versus the other one just damages everyone. So they're a little bit different sometimes. Lone Star Lizard, gain 1 extra VP when you roll exactly one on the guy, or gain 1 when you roll 1 star. Mammoth Lasso, the last one for him. You can choose to roll 1 fewer die to make a monster heal Tokyo, or for New York, you can choose to roll 1 fewer die to move a monster to a different burrow. Which have different consequences. It's not saying you can go to. This one actually moves you to. Well, it just kicks them out, I guess. But then this one lets you move them anywhere. Alright, it's interesting. Alright, so now we got Rob the Robot. We have Hard Reset. Play before you start your turn, skip your turn, gain 3 health, 3 energy, and draw an evolution card. It's always a nice little bonus to have. It's not logical. Play before rolling dice. Play 2 turns in a row. You only roll dice once during each of those 2 rounds. So you get 2 turns, but you only get one chance, which is kind of interesting. Infinite Loop, play before rolling dice. During your rolls, each time you roll an energy, immediately gain 1 energy for each energy roll, and then roll them again freely. Ooh, so that's kind of cool. You could build them up really quick. Merkalax Searchlight, you can add a 1 or a 2 to your dice roll, or you can add a building destruction to your roll. If you do so, you can only use it to destroy units. Telescopic Limbs. If you roll at least a 1/1, steal 1 star from a monster with the most. If you roll at least 2/2, steal 1 health from the monster with the most. For both causes, in both cases, choose the target if tied. Or spend 1 energy to use as many of your building destructions you want in another burrow. So these ones go completely different. In the Spotlight, gain 1 energy for each VP you gained. Same thing for each star you rolled. Wires in the City. Each time a monster, including you, gains at least 2 energy, put one of these energies charges on Wire in the City. Discard Wires in the City to put all of them in your reserve. Basically, you just steal at least one of their energies and then you can use it later. And Rob's final one is Tesla Accelerator. When you roll at least 2 energy, add an attack to your roll. Now we got the Mantis Robot. It's kind of funny. He's a robot, but he's an alien. Chicken Armor. You cannot lose health until the end of your turn. Pretty simple. Bugs on Broadway. Add 3 to your roll or take back Superstar. Swarm of Locusts. Roll an extra die this turn. Put Swarm of Locusts back in your hand. It's in the discard pile, and you roll 3 health. Oh, as if you had in your discard pile, and you roll 3 dice. Okay. Get an extra die roll unless you roll 3 health. Hottenscott. I think I said that right. Hottenscott. At the beginning of your turn, gain 1 energy if you have less than 8 health, or 2 if you have less than 5. But the New York one says, gain 1 for each unit in your burrow at the beginning of your turn. Camouflage. If you must lose health, roll 1 die for each health you would lose. Each health you roll is reduced to damage by 2. Reaping Madness. You can add 1 to your roll, or you can add a unit destruction only to destroy units. Roach Infestation. You can add 2 to your roll. This one's like the same thing. Add 1 unit destruction, but you can only use it to destroy buildings. And its final one is Mega Chainsaw. Put 3 energy from the bank on this card. Once per turn, you can take 1 energy from this card to add an attack to your roll. You can use a health to add 1 from the bank to this card instead of healing. And then New York, instead of adding an attack, you can also add a building destruction. Alright, so now we have Captain Fish. Starfish DNA. Gain 1 extra health for each health you rolled this turn. You can gain health above 10 to a maximum of 12. So I think they messed up. They have it listed as temporary evolution. Oh, because you play it once, just if you can get above it. Awesome. That's interesting. Far above the spotlight. Play during your turn if you have at least 3 BP. Lose 3 BP to gain a combination of 5 energy or hearts. Or it says during your turn if you have Superstar, discard it to gain them. Because you need 3 VP to gain Superstar. Triton's Armor. You must lose exactly 2 health. Or don't lose any health. Ooh, that's nasty. So that could be really hard to defeat you after once you get that. Catch and release. Resolve. Play after resolving your dice only if you are not in Tokyo. The monster in Tokyo loses 1 health and yields Tokyo, and then you take control. You can force yourself into there. And the same thing is just for Manhattan. Back trolling. Play after being wounded by a monster who controls Tokyo. Exchange places with this monster and another monster. This can be you. Same thing except for in Manhattan. So the other one forces it. This one lets you swap other people around too. Benefit Shell. Put 3 energy from the bank of this card. Remove 1 energy from this card to reduce the loss of health by 1. You can spend 3 energy to add 1 from the bank to this card. So it starts off with 3, but then you can spend 3 to add more so you can use it later. I gotcha. Titanic Anchor. When you wound a monster, give them Titanic Anchor. You must spend a combination of 3 energy or hearts when they must enter or want to leave Tokyo. As soon as they pay, give back Titanic Anchor. Ooh, so that's neat. So if they want to enter, or this one says they must spend a combination when they want to move. So it's actually worse in New York. It's just moving it all. But yeah, they have to spend extra stuff or spend hearts if they want to enter or leave. And his final one is Curse of the Titanic. If you would wound exactly 1 monster and they lose at least 2 health, each other monster loses 1 health. Alright, and our final one is Kong. We have Iron Curtain. Other monsters who yield Tokyo lose 1 health, or New York says when they leave your burrow, they lose 1. The Rasputin device. When you reach 0 health, roll 3 dice. If you roll at least 1 health, you stay in play with 2 health. Ooh, that's kind of neat, so it can kind of just barely keep you hanging on. Redistribution. Take every monster's energy and redistribute it by one by one clockwise, starting with yourself. Ooh, so if like you have 1 and someone has 10, that could really mess them up. Workers Unite. When you roll 3 ones, all other monsters lose 1 health for each star. Each victory point you gain this turn. And the New York one says, whenever you roll 3 unit attacks, you aren't attacked by units. Oh, so that's actually cool too, because when you hit the 3, all the monsters attack everywhere, so it sort of saves you. Glasnost. Other monsters must show their evolution cards on their hand when you ask them. Discard Glasnost to make all other monsters discard 1 evolution card of their choice from their hand. Interesting. It's the first time it has something that's done that. Alright, Red Dawn. All other monsters lose 2 health, or you can add your 3 monster or unit attacks to your roll. Red Star Rocket. For each 2 you roll, you can add a attack, or for each star you roll, you get to add an attack. And the final one is Kong Gamma Blaster. For each 3 of a kind you roll, your neighbor loses 1 health. Or the New York one says, you can use as many of your building destructions you like to destroy a building that is not in your burrow. If you do so, all monsters in the destroyed buildings burrow lose 1 health. Alright. A lot to go through. I don't know if that was the most effective way to do it, reading both of them, but that's what I did. But I wanted to do it that way because if you're playing the New York one, and you're like, oh, I really like those cards, I really like playing as, Mega Shark, for example, you can see that his Tokyo cards, if you want to take him to Tokyo, are going to play fairly similar. I really hope that they release the New York version somehow in some sort of box set, like a secondary power-up to bring all this stuff to New York, just because it would be nice. I get it's a little tricky for them to do that, but it'd be nice to be able to play any character in any set. Although that being said, there's also promo characters that don't have anything, but I don't expect them to release cards for those. But that is King of New York powered up, so if you have the New York expansion and you want to add some extra stuff to your game, here you go. Or even if you just have the Tokyo expansion, you want to add some, this one works great for either one. Because you add a bonus for each one, plus you get a new character. Alright, see you guys later. Bye.